What's up, Drill Season TV family? This is your boy Drilly. This video right here I'm going to do is called Silence and Secrecy. This is literally a step-by-step guide on how to avoid indictments, how to avoid self-incriminating statements, how to avoid putting your damn self in crazy situations with CPD or even the feds. FBG, the Flyboy Gang, Young and Dutchy. I know a lot of y'all see these interviews and I see the comments, man. They're saying that these interviews are boring, they're stale and all that. Well, listen, man. I'm under the impression that the guys don't really want to talk about murders. They don't want to talk about things that can get them indicted. They don't want to go into details about these things. That's smart. That's actually genius, it seems like, right? It's more common sense than anything, but in 2023, that's genius because you can really lower your character just to get a bag, just to tell these stories, and put all kind of people's names in these stories. I mean, if you look across the internet right now, there are some guys who have been in some drill circles, quote-unquote, gangbangers, and they're telling their stories as if the law is not watching. They're telling their stories on open cases as if their ass can't get arrested. Young and Dutchy are the two guys that I'm seeing that are just remaining silent through all of it, man. They're not talking about this shit. They don't want to talk about it, and they're not talking about it. If we ask them more about music, I believe we'll get better interviews out of these guys because they've been dropping a steady stream of music. I mean, on YouTube, if you're a real fan and you go look on the YouTube, their numbers are crazy, and they're still crazy. So why are we still asking these guys about gangster shit? With the FBG indictment and murder case and the trial set to start in October, these guys are keeping a really, really low profile when it comes to the case and when it comes to speaking on the case. They don't really say much. And on all of the cases, I mean, we're talking about Get Right, we can even talk about Cash, K.I., all of these people from their neighborhoods that I'm pretty sure they may have some intimate knowledge of, but we'll never know it. Why? Because they'll never tell it. They'll never get in front of a camera and just say, yo, such and such was there and murdered this guy, such and such did this. They just won't do it. They're trying to, I be seeing interviewers try to bait them into these little questions, and they don't fall for that bait. It's common sense, man. I mean, people say that, you have a right to tell your story because you were there. You were a part of it. It's part of your life. But if your story contains another person's name, then I feel like you need to take a little step back, man. Because that other person could be really like that. We've seen so many examples across the internet in the last, let's just say, 3 or 4 years of guys telling straight up stories on open cases. And, and if you're looking at it from the eyes or the point of view of the law, they look at these videos and they say, well, hell, you guys never said that shit to us. Let me go talk to you. Even 10, 15 years later, let me talk to this guy. You witnessed what? Your son saw who get murdered? Oh, really? How come y'all didn't tell us this back in 2012, 2013, shit like that, right? That's from the eyes of a prosecutor and detectives and things of that nature, right? You got to imagine, too, a lot of cold cases don't have the same detective that they originally had on the case, right? It's 10 years later, that guy's probably retired. You got some young buck with some fresh new eyes. The first thing he's doing is going to YouTube and social media, man. So we got Truth Teller. I mean, this guy does FBG Young videos 3 times a damn month or something like that, bro. And he's still asking the same questions over and over again. This kid is not giving up nothing, man. He do got a clothing line now that we can talk about. You know what I mean? He got some records out. So, the moral of this story is, the way to avoid an indictment, the way to avoid self-incriminating statements, the way to avoid keeping your black ass out of jail is you gotta change the narrative by controlling what comes out of your mouth. Change the narrative by controlling what comes out of your mouth. This is Drilly. Hit that like button. I'm out.